Well, good morning, YouTube. This is BtheRiderPa. Welcome back to the channel. Hit that subscribe button somewhere down there in the corner. Like, share, all that good hoop and holler. We're on our trailer series, prepping for our first camping trip. So the other day I'm looking at the trailers and I'm like, one has an adjustable cooler rack and the other one has a fixed size cooler rack. The fixed size cooler rack doesn't fit any coolers we could get that are worth a crap, like Yetis. So I'm like, well, then we're like, the timeout camper doesn't have a front leg. So you can pop the leg down, set the trailer down, it sits on the two wheels, but the CycleMate does. So I looked and they make one that folds and has a wheel. Because the trailer is 400 some pounds, it's a lot easier to move around if it's all on wheels. You don't have to pick it up and move it. And then those legs are up underneath the trailer and they're kind of a pain to get out to set down. So I looked online, of course, lo and behold, there's a flip up wheel you can buy. But the cooler rack's in the way. Well, geez, what a great solution. Let's take the adjustable cooler rack off and put it on the CycleMate. Take the CycleMate cooler and whatever with it. Put the wheel on the timeout. So now the timeout actually has a flip up wheel and we can roll that around if we need to move it. And my wife's not a big woman, so it'll make it easier for her to move around if I'm not available. Second of all, now we can add another cooler option to the other trailer with a Yeti cooler, which keeps ice for like 5 days or whatever. We can buy one of those. So along with the fridge, if we have to, and we don't have power, we got a really good cooler to keep things cold. Because I have some meds we got to keep cool, things like that. So we want to have a really good cooler on hand. And it makes a lot more space and gives us more cooler space. Say we freeze water in the electric cooler and it's good for 5 days, then we can put those bottles into the Yeti cooler and keep everything cold for longer. They say we go camping, we stay someplace for 3 days and don't have power, we still have ice to put in the other cooler to keep things cold. So it kind of works itself out as a better option. Since we can pull 2 trailers, that makes it even better. And then I can also use the Yeti when I go on a short trip. We can always have that for a cooler also. So it's a plus either way around. If we just do camping with a smaller trailer and do a couple-day trip or go somewhere, we can always put things in it, keep them cool as we get down the road till we get to a place that has a hotel, refrigerator, whatever. It's just all around a plus. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to take the one cooler rack off. We're going to move it to the other trailer. Take that trailer cooler rack off, and then we're going to put the wheel on the other trailer so we can crank it up, crank it down, flip it up, and move it around without having to lift the trailer up and move it around, so to make it easier on my wife if she has to move it, or easier on me to move it around also. Plus, that gives us another stability for us when we set it up. It'll give it more stability on that one wheel that we have there. Instead of 4 legs, will actually give us one more point of stability for as the trailer goes, and that would probably be a plus in itself. So I'm now here at the toolbox because all that shit is in the shed. So I have to get my air ratchet, my sockets, and my wrenches and haul them up the hill to get all that taken care of. So we're going to video putting all that together and moving that stuff around and talk a little bit about it and show you how it works and all that good stuff. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. All right, well, this is that wheel. We're going to put right there on this. I got to take that rack off. Then we won't have to use the legs here. We can just use this to balance this trailer. Take that rack and put it on that one and put a better cooler. And see, this one just has these 2 bolts here, 2 bolts there. You can slide it up and down, so you can make it any width you need to fit whatever cooler. When I got this one fitted for this cooler. These coolers are really junky. If you buy a CycleMate, don't get the cooler. Get the adjustable cooler option. With today's coolers, are so much better. That one only fits the one. I can either cut it off and whatever, but I'll just unbolt it, remove it. Maybe I'll be able to use it on this one for something, or maybe put it on this one after I put the wheel on, or maybe find some other use for it. But it's really not any good as far as that cooler. It don't work worth a crap. You put ice in it, in a day, it's done. So we're going to remove that and put this cooler rack on that trailer and that wheel on this trailer and see how that all works out for us. Alrighty. So we're gonna kick you over to some time lapse. I like my time lapse. Makes things go so much faster. And get her all set up here and moving around. It's kind of hard to move the camera around when I'm doing that, so I'm just going to set it up and let her go. I got some shelving up here which will show the whole area, and it'll work really good, I guess, from the one side. And we'll get there because I have this is where I keep my trailers at, my nice big shed. And they fit in here right with my tractor and my other yard stuff. So we've been getting it better organized. As I said before, we have the totes up there. There's the canvas for the top, so we're going to have that set up like that. And I was thinking about getting a web of some kind. I've seen them for like trucks. I don't need as big as one for a truck, but it might work. I also was thinking maybe I'll drill some holes in this racking so I have other points to work off, because I don't really ever fold these down to keep those in there. So I could just drill some holes and hook up a mesh over that, and I could hook the holes this way. That'll just keep that all contained, which would be a good idea too, instead of having to run so many bungees. So we'll see how that works out. Alrighty then. All right then, we're gonna get a little busy here. Alrighty, there we go. That's pretty simple. This thing does like 1,000 pounds. Don't really need all that, but you can see, crank it up and crank it down, and that'll make it a lot easier to hook up. It's got a nice wheel. The whole thing rolls, moves quite easily. It seems a little rickety. These are pretty tight on there. They have nylon nuts. It's for a multi-functional, so it fits a bunch of different things, but I don't think it'll be in the way. It folds up, pops out. I can crank it up, put one of them legs down there, and then flip it up. If we go up to the trailer, once we put it on the bike trailer, there you go. It's the idea is we can move it around if we have to at the campground. Also, I've seen like you go to campgrounds and you might be scheduled to have a campsite for a couple days in one location, and you want to stay there, but they say, oh, well, you can't be in that site because that's booked for somebody else at a certain amount of time. So then you have to move. So instead of having to hook it up to the bike and move it, we might be able to do this and roll it over there. It might be a little simpler, might not. Either way, it'll definitely be handier than a cooler rack with a cooler, I think. I think I could actually put that cooler rack behind that, and it would flip up, and it might work that way too. Do we really need the space? If we did, we can do it. If we don't need the space, hey, whatever. But anyways, that's on a tongue adjustment or tongue lifter. Like I said, it's not that heavy a trailer, but my wife isn't very big, so this will make it easier on her if she has to do it. Say I get hurt or something. We want to kind of prepare for the odd things that might happen, and that would be one of them. And like I said, it just folds up out of the way. It's not really, it's no heavier than what it'd be for a cooler. There it is. It's a Iton 1,000-pound bolt sidewind marine swivel jack. So, and I said it bolt right on there. There you go. Not that big a deal to put on, and then get it done. So now we're gonna go over here, and you see below at the lower, it has 2 bolts that holds that rack on. So I got to remove those bracks, put the U-bolts on the other ones, and put them right back on there, and we'll be good to go with that one. Then I just got to figure out what size cooler I want to use and come in and making adjustments. We'll see which one we can pick up, and there we go. I thought about putting one of those jacks on this trailer, but I was like, well, I got one, and I thought, well, I could just put one of them under, but Yeah, this would be a little easier cranking versus picking it up and sliding that down. It's really not that difficult either way. This just makes this more mobile. This is really easy to move. It's not as big not as much weight as this one is. So trying to prepare for the future, you could say. That's the idea. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and unbolt that thing and take it off and put the other one on. Alrighty, there you go. That's all there is to that the adjustable one. You just loosen them two nuts and this slides and this slides. So no matter what size I get, I can bring it in and adjust it. And it's got 3 holes to run some straps over to hold it on, which will work a lot better. Maybe I'll make something else for it later to hold it in better. I moved it up a little bit. It doesn't get in the way of the foot. So that'll make that better. And like I said, that's all together. So that makes it easier to move that. So overall, it's kind of a better, I think, a better deal for us moving that stuff around. Like I said, this cooler and that cooler really aren't that good. We never did buy Yeti, so we bought the electrical one, which is great for longer stays in your traveling, which you got power available. When we get the solar generator, that will be handy as could be, because it doesn't take much power to run and it does free stuff. So that'll help out a great deal when we go on longer trips for longer periods of time. And then with the 2 trailers, it'll make our travels that much easier. So the only thing I left to do is I got one of them spare tires is better than the other, and it's definitely better than that one that's underneath there. I did put like I said, the tire pressure monitors on here, and I could check my phone. I got to check her trailer, see what the tire pressure is, and I got them on mine. I put them on my 2018. When I traded the 18 and bought the 21, I took the sensors off. I didn't buy the sensors for the trailer because if I bought a new bike, I'd have 2 extra sensors. So I put them on the trailer. So now we have tire pressure monitoring on our trailers, so we can monitor that as we get on the road and so forth, and we know where we're at that to maintain good pressure, so we get some wear out of them tires. The tires ain't that expensive. You get 2 of them for 60 bucks or 30 bucks a piece, but they don't last a lot of miles. They don't really hold up too well, and we just want to try to get as much tire wear as we can out of them for as much as they cost. And we'll see how that works out for this summer. But that's my bid on changing them things over and getting ready for camping this year. We got not too much longer here. We're only a couple days away. I think we're only like a week away maybe to our first trip, and we get the bikes all ready to go here. I think we got one more weekend and we're off for a short trip. Get it set up, see how it works for us, see what we can do. Hopefully we got perfect weather. It'll be awesome, because we've never been to this place, and we're looking forward to getting out and doing some hiking into some of these places. Believe it or not, I gotta lose some of this poundage, going some walks. The other year we went to this thing called the Devil's Bathtub in Abington. That wasn't Abington. It was it's near Abington, Virginia. We went to a campgrounds and rode out to this thing called the Devil's Bathtub. It's in Virginia. Look it up. And it's a 2-mile hike up into the woods. Gorgeous place, absolutely gorgeous. Take some swim trunks with you. Make sure you're dressed for water. Use water shoes, hiking boots, because you're gonna need them, because it's a good hike up through the woods. They marked the trail and it crosses a creek several times. There's one way it's pretty easy and it's a lot longer. I think it's a half a mile, maybe a mile longer. The other way is more direct, right up to basically the creek stream, the stream bed, which takes you up over a lot of rugged stuff. If you have issues with walking or smoking or health issues, yeah, you don't want to go that way, but you want to take the other way. But that hike up there, we went the shorter way, which was a lot more enduring than we thought. But hey, we made it no problem. But we got up to that ponds and stuff that was just so pretty. And if I got some pictures, I'll flash them right here. I'll just put them in there, and I'll have to look up, see if I got some pictures. But other than that, thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe somewhere on the bottom here. Put that like button, and come back and see me. We'll have more time out stuff and trailer stuff and traveling with the time out camper coming up, and trying to get some links The old lady's work, that's not my gig. The old lady's going to work on putting some links on my descriptions for the things we put on these pages. So maybe we can curtail some of this extra cost of adding stuff too, just like everybody else, you know. It's great doing content, but this stuff costs money. And it doesn't bother me. It doesn't make a difference. I'm going to do it no matter what anyhow. So it's all for everybody else's benefit. There isn't a whole lot out there on timeout campers and the things you can do with them. And I've wanted one of these for years, never bought one. I've had 2 of these CycleMet trailers. This is my second one. And I used them since the 90s to travel and go see things. We really handy, but getting older and getting closer to retirement, sleeping on the ground sucks. That's what started this, was when we went to the Devil's Bathtub. We came back to the campgrounds. It was pouring rain. We were stuck in a tent. We were on a mat. You couldn't get off the mat because the tent was on gravel. It hurt everywhere you moved. We're sitting there watching TV on a little cell phone, and you couldn't go outside and make coffee. You couldn't do anything. So that's what spurred all this. She decided, my wife said, Luis, you ought to do this. So we dug in deep, and here we are. 2 years later, we've gone once or twice with the camper, and now we're hooking up for the other trailer to make it even a better adventure. So stick around for our adventures, and we'll catch you later. Like I always say, this is BtheRiderPa, and I'm out.